The rain hammered against the corrugated roofs of Camp Grayson as if the sky itself wanted the intruder gone. Every set of eyes in the courtyard was locked on the lone woman standing in the mud, her uniform soaked, her posture calm. "Leave this base," one of the rangers barked, jabbing a finger at her chest as the others closed in behind him. They didn't know her name, didn't recognize her face, and that was exactly how she preferred it. She had arrived unannounced, carrying only a sealed transfer file and an expression that gave away nothing. The men thought she was some clerk, some admin mistake, someone who wandered in through the wrong gate. What they didn't know was that the woman they were yelling at had more confirmed high-value captures than the entire platoon combined. The tallest ranger shoved forward, mud splashing up his boots. "You're not authorized here," he growled. "No civilian steps foot inside this perimeter. Turn around before we make you." She didn't blink. Her voice was steady, almost gentle, which only made them angrier. "I'm exactly where I need to be." A short, bitter laugh erupted from another soldier. "Lady, this is a special operations compound. You think you can just stroll in here?" His words were cut off when her file slipped from her hand. The wind flipped it open on the ground, revealing a single line they all froze at. "SEAL Team 4, Special Assignment, L. Hawthorne." For a moment, the courtyard fell silent except for the rain. None of them dared move. Hawthorne. They had heard the name whispered in missions briefings and after-action reports. A ghost, a myth, a rumor of a woman who had taken down an insurgent camp alone after her team was pinned. But they had never seen her. No one had. She reached down calmly, picked the file back up, and met their stunned stares with the same unreadable calm. "If you're done," she said softly, "I have work to do." The tall ranger swallowed, but the bruised ego in him surged again. "Prove it," he demanded. "No one just walks in here because of a name." She stepped forward, they reflexively stepped back. Her movements were measured but powerful, nothing wasted. "Weapons bay," she said. "Pick one." They led her inside, half out of disbelief, half out of curiosity, gathering around as she selected a standard-issue sidearm. No modifications, no optics, just the basic weapon every recruit trained with. She checked it once, then moved to the empty range. 10 meters, 15, 20. She fired without hesitation. Every round hit center mass. She shifted to headshots, then reload drills, then moving targets that required precision even experienced rangers struggled with. By the time she holstered the weapon, not a single man in the room remained skeptical. The tall ranger's voice cracked when he finally spoke. "Ma'am, why didn't you say who you were?" She walked past him, calm, composed, lethal without effort. "Because," she said, "true operators don't need to announce themselves." Behind her, the entire unit stood frozen. She hadn't just earned their respect. She had claimed the room the moment she walked in. Night fell over Camp Grayson like a heavy curtain, the kind that made even seasoned operators feel the weight of the dark. Inside the command tent, the rangers gathered again, this time not to shout her out of the base, but to witness what their CO had planned. Word had spread fast. The mysterious woman they tried to eject was not only authorized but was now assigned as their mission lead. Some refused to believe it. Others hoped it wasn't true. A few stood silently, unsure whether to feel embarrassed or terrified. When the flap opened and Lieutenant Hawthorne stepped inside, the room straightened automatically. She didn't demand it. Her presence did. The commanding officer, Captain Rourke, cleared his throat. "Hawthorne will be taking point for Operation Night Vale. You'll follow her directives." A murmur rippled through the group, but no one dared protest, not after her performance at the range. She walked to the holographic map table, studying the enemy compound glowing in red. The target was deep in hostile territory, fortified, and surrounded by unpredictable militia movements. It was the kind of mission teams got pulled from because the risk outweighed any possible gain. But she examined it with the cold precision of someone who had survived worse. The rangers waited for fear or hesitation. Instead, she spoke with the calm certainty of someone reciting a grocery list. "We infiltrate from the North Ridge. Two-man sniper element sets overwatch here. Breach team enters through the East Corridor. Extraction via river path." One ranger frowned. "Ma'am, that river is crawling with patrolling scouts." She didn't look up. "Not after I'm done." The room fell quiet again. They didn't know what she meant, but they believed she could do it. 3 hours later, they moved through the forest toward the objective, darkness swallowing their silhouettes. The rangers kept glancing at her, expecting her to stumble, to struggle under the weight of the gear. But she moved with effortless silence, her stride steady, her breathing controlled. She blended into the shadows like she was part of them. When they reached the Overwatch Ridge, she held up a hand, signaling them to halt. Her senses sharpened, she had felt something. Seconds later, a faint metallic click echoed through the trees. Tripwire. An ambush waiting to happen. Before anyone could react, she knelt, disabled it, and drew a line in the dirt with the wire. "They're expecting us," the tall ranger from earlier whispered. "How did you know that?" She didn't answer. Instead, she guided them down the slope, avoiding a second trap, then a third, each one more advanced. The men realized these weren't ordinary patrol defenses, these were professionally placed. Someone had anticipated a special operations entry. When they finally reached the compound's perimeter, she signaled again. Positions. The team moved like they had trained with her for years, not hours. A guard patrol turned the corner, flashlights swaying. The rangers tensed, ready to fire, but she moved first, fast, silent, precise. 2 guards went down before their beams hit the ground. Not a sound escaped. When she returned to the shadows, the tall ranger stared at her, breath caught in his throat. This wasn't just the unit's most lethal SEAL. This was someone who had built a career surviving missions others never returned from. And tonight, she was leading them straight into the fire, with a confidence that made them believe they might actually walk back out.